Hi everyone, I am Dr. R. Bharathi, working as Associate Professor of English in the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, ANNAMALAI University. In this video lecture, I wish to share some of my views and opinions on interview skills. Today in this competitive world, we have to compete with so many. We have to run fast to win. So, to succeed in our career, we have to enrich our skills and abilities. So, how can you improve yourself? That is what we are going to discuss in this video lecture. So, in this video lecture, I am going to discuss about what is an interview, what is the purpose of the interview, what are the expectations of the companies, and what are the do's and don'ts of an interview. So, first we will start with definition. What is an interview? It is a structured conversation between an interviewer and the candidate. This is the last phase of the selection process. Okay. So, what does the word interview refers to is, it is an one-to-one conversation between the interviewer and the candidate. The interviewer asks questions and the candidate, that the interviewee, responds, and he is providing some information to the interviewer. It can also be said that there is a transformation of information in both directions. And what is an interview process? This is a formal meeting between two people, that is the interviewer and the candidate. So, this interview is conducted to ask questions and obtain information from the candidate, and the interviewer asks questions and the candidate answers the questions. So, it is a sort of a discussion or conversation between the employer and a candidate, and this is a selection process. Through this interview process, the employer can understand whether the candidate is having enough skill and the personality and character of the candidate is eligible for the concerned job. So, in this formal meeting, information is shared. Okay. So, this is the last phase of the recruitment process, and this helps the companies to select a suitable candidate for the job. And not only the interviewer will be asking questions, if necessary, the candidate also can ask some questions about their expectations. What sort of job is it? What are the responsibilities? How much is the salary? So, if he needs to have some information, he can get the information from the interviewer. And there are two purposes in the interview. One is the purpose of the interviewer, second one is the candidate's purpose. So, there are several purposes. What is the purpose of the employer, that is the interviewer? So, he wants to learn more information, details about the candidate. Already he have gone through the resume of the candidate, and apart from that, if he want to get some other details, he can make use of the interview. So, that is the purpose of an interview for the employer. So, the employer's purpose, he wants to know three things, he needs to know three things from the candidate. Can you do the work? First one is, can you do the work? That is, whether the person, the professional qualification is eligible, whether the candidate is eligible for the work. Second one is, will you do the work? So, will you do the work means whether the skills, the interest, the goals, the achievements of the candidates will be okay for that job. And the third one is, will you fit in? So, here the responsibilities of the candidate will be valued, and then whether the candidate will fit in with the culture of the organization. So, these are the three needs of the purpose of the employers for conducting an interview. And what is the purpose of the candidate? So, here apart from submitting the resume, in this interview, the candidate can describe his own skills, abilities, and how can he do the job. And apart from that, he can also say about his interests, his goals, and how can he motivate others, how can he maybe get motivated from others. Everything can be expressed by the candidate. And if he needs some sort of informations, he can get from the interviewer, and he can decide the main point of the main aim of the candidate's purpose is he can decide whether the job will fit in for him, whether it will be okay for his skills, values, interests and goals. And what are the expectations of the employer? So, while conducting an interview, the employer will be having some expectations. What are the expectations? So, first expectation of the employer is job specific skills and knowledge. So, after reviewing the resume, they can know what is your skill, what is your eligibility, what is your qualification, but through an interview they can know about your experience. Through your body language they can judge your confidence level, your standard, everything can be judged. So, they can come to a decision whether you are having specific skills and knowledge for that concerned job. Second one is honesty about area with less knowledge. So, the employers who are hiring the candidates, they will be sometimes having sound technical knowledge. In some areas they may not be having that much of knowledge, they will be having only less knowledge in some areas. So, the candidate should be very honest to express that he is having only little bit of knowledge in that concerned area. So, transparency about your skills will be appreciated by the employer, and you have to say that you can improve your skills in future. And the third one is passion and enthusiasm when discussing experience and skills. So, this is also a genuine interest of the candidate. So, employers prefer candidates who is having a genuine interest in the job role. So, there should be some passion and enthusiasm, then only you will excel in the job. So, you have to express your passion and enthusiasm through your performance and through your response to the questions. And most probably many companies, what do they look for during an interview? So, they need some candidates with the desired skill and knowledge in their particular field, and not only that, they have to, the candidates have to fit in with the culture of the organization. So, these are the things which the companies look for during an interview. And in interview process we do have 5 stages. Okay. So, first when you walk in into the room, interview room, first there will be a introduction between the interviewer and the interviewee, and they will have a small talk. So, that will make the candidate to relax himself. So, he will be having some nervousness, some sort of tension. So, that will be gone when they are having a small talk, and then they will start gathering some information, and then the questions and the answers from the candidate will happen, and wrapping up, that is conclusion. So, these are the 5 stages of an interview. First introduction will go on, then there will be a small talk and information gathering will happen, and then there will be a question answer session and it will be concluded. And then how can you prepare yourself for an interview? Before going to an interview, what you have to do? How can you prepare for an interview? First one is create a portfolio, that is have a document of your certificates, organization, collection of your certificates or documents, collection of documents. So, that should be done first, and then research the job. So, for which job you are going to appear for an interview. So, research about, gather some informations about the job, about the interviewer, about the organization. If it is an industry, get some details about the industry. Okay, do research about the job. You should know what sort of job it is, who are going to interview you, what type of organization is it. So, all the details should be gathered. Okay, and then we will be having some commonly asked questions. We know what are the commonly asked questions. So, prepare the answers for that. How can you give a effective answer? How can you catch the interviewer with your answers? Okay, then bring a copy of your resume. So, whatever documents you are having, that is the resume, biodata is very important. Bring that, and then dressing code. It is very important for success. So, you know how to dress very decently, formal dress. Okay. Tell your story while introducing yourself to the interviewer. Say about yourself and practice interviewing out loud. So, go on speaking, practice the answers for the questions. And finally, if you need to get any informations from the interviewer, just go on with that questions. How can you ask some purposeful questions? That questions should be very clear. Prepare those questions. So, these are the pre-preparation methods or techniques what you have to do before going to an interview. So, next one is pre-interview checklist. What you have to carry, what you have to take, what you have to do. So, first one is research. That is for which job you have applied. Know everything about that job, about that organization, everything. Okay. And in what the transport, in what way you are going to go to the interview place. So, that should be very correct, and polish your interview answers. So, you can just go on polishing your answers. You know what are the commonly asked questions in an interview, and for that what type of answers you are going to give. So, polish your answers. If you need to have some questions, prepare your own questions and get your outfit sorted. What sort of outfit you are going to wear on that day, and what are all the extras, what are going to carry you with on the day. So, you just have concentrate on that day and then be relaxed. After doing all these works, be relaxed. So, before a week of an interview, what you have to do? Do your homework, that is just read some books, references related to your job, related to your subject, related to your area, and research about the company and its background. Okay, prepare your questions. If you want any clarifications, if you need any clarifications, prepare your own questions. And there may be some interview techniques. Practice the interview technique. Plan for your journey and stay focused. Don't give way to any distractions. Okay, sleep well, that is very important. So, health is most important, and eat a healthy breakfast or lunch, whatever it is. Stay calm and be very confident. So, whatever happens there, you be prepared to face that confidently. Then, how to impress? How can you impress in a job interview? So, first doing your research. If you give informations about that particular job and about that particular company, they will be impressed. So, for that you have to do some research and dress professionally. So, formal dressing. So, dressings will create some impression. So, be very careful in your dressing, and on time, punctuality is very important. So, arrive on time, limit distractions, don't go with your mobile phone. So, don't speak with somebody else, don't distract yourself. So, be focused, okay, and then pay attention to body language. So, your sitting posture, your eye contact, the way you are speaking, everything will be noted there. So, your body language shows your confidence, Okay. So, pay attention to your body language and you have to answer the questions which is asked. If you do not know the answer, frankly say that you are not able to answer it. Okay. And if you want to ask any questions, ask informed questions. Do not ask any unnecessary questions which will irritate the interviewer. And after that, follow up. After completing the interview, your work is not done. After that, you have to follow up. Follow up means you can send a thank you mail to that person and what is the status of the interview, everything you have to follow up. And then how must you behave in an interview? So, you have to practice polite, confident body language. So, body language shows your manners, your conduct and your confidence level. Okay. So, it is very, very important. So, while you are waiting for the interviewers, sit straight with your shoulders open and your hands can rest on your lap or armrests. Your feet should be flat or it can be crossed. Okay. Avoid using mobile phones. So, keep your body language open and be focused. So, presence of mind, there should be some presence of mind. Okay. So, practice polite, confident body language before going to an interview and stick on to it. And what are the commonly asked interview questions? So, self introduction, that is tell me about yourself. The first question may be tell me about yourself, introduce yourself. And they will ask you walk me through your resume. How did you hear about this position? Why do you want to work at this company? Why do you want this job? Why should we hire you? What can you bring to the company? These are all some of the commonly asked job interview questions. So, before going to the interview, you can practice some answers to this commonly asked questions. So, the important part in an interview process is self introduction. So, when you introduce yourself, it should be very attractive and it should be very impressive. Okay. And it shows your confidence level also. So, self introduction is an important part in an interview process. So, first if possible greet the interviewer with a big smile and if possible go for a handshake. So, always have a smile in your face. If possible have a handshake with that interviewer. Okay. And while introducing yourself, describe yourself, say about your full name and give a very brief introduction. Do not go for lengthy sentences, do not give so many details. It should be very brief, concise. Okay. And if necessary, just give a small detail about your family, that is your father, your mother, their occupation. If you have any siblings, you can say about them. Okay. And always keep your body relaxed. Do not show that you are nervous. Okay. So, that if your body is very relaxed, it shows that you are confident. Okay. And always maintain an eye contact with the interviewer. And at times if necessary nod your head. It shows that you are concentrating, you are listening to that person. So, what are the key points that should make in your self introduction? First, you have to say who you are, that is your name, where are you from. If you have any personal backgrounds, you can say about that, and if you have any previous experiences, you can mention it there. Okay. And then you have to say about your educational qualifications. What are your educational qualifications? Okay. Then you can say about, if you have previously worked in some other concerns, you can say about that. You can say about your past achievements, internships, workshops, and if you have any achievements, you can say about that. If you had any professional training or experience, that can also be added. Okay. So, finally, you can say about your hobbies or in which area you are interested. So, these are the key points for your self introduction. So, tips for introducing yourself at a job interview. So, before introducing yourself, dress in a professional manner. So, for what position you are going to be interviewed, for that position what sort of dress will be fit in. So, you have to dress in a professional manner and be smart and confident, okay, and express yourself, market yourself, say about yourself with an elevator pitch. Don't mumble, just talk in a confident tone, okay. Keep your introduction short and concise. It should be very short and concise, okay. Don't say too much about your personal information, that is not needed, okay. And if you have any accomplishments, any achievements, just highlight them and don't boast about yourself. That is very, very important. What is needed? Talk about what is necessary. Don't give any unnecessary informations or details. And you just focus on your qualifications and skills. So, that is very important, okay. So, when you are going to appear for an interview, practice your introduction lines, so that when you start introducing yourself, you can describe yourself comfortably, okay. Practice your self introduction and always be prepared for the follow up questions. After your introduction, there may be some questions based on your introduction. So, be prepared to answer those follow up questions, okay. So, and always be prepared to answer any question and be confident and speak out, speak frankly. So, there should be transparency in your speech, okay. So, when you are talking about yourself, talk with enthusiasm, okay. Don't have any inferior, don't any time, don't have any complex. You think yourself to be very high. So, you should feel yourself proud, okay. So, that should be expressed in your self introduction. So, if you think that you have missed out something related to that self introduction, just you can give it. And next one is, what are the do's and don'ts of an interview, what you can do and what you should not do in an interview process, okay. So, first one is, you should know about yourself. That is the first thing. Before going to an interview, before going to get a job, you have to introduce, you should know about yourself. What are your skills? What are your abilities? What are your goals? What are your interests, values? And most probably, you should know about your strengths and weaknesses. So, that should be well known to you. Your strength and your weakness should be known to you, okay. And then know about your employer who is going to employ you, know about the job, about the interviewer, about the products or service, whatever it is. So, know about your potential employer. Read employer literature and look professional. The way of dressing, be on time. So, arrive at least 15 minutes early, okay. Check your appearance and compose yourself. Punctuality is very, very important. And whenever you speak, be clear, concise and to the point. Focus on the point which you are going to give. Don't give unnecessary informations and descriptions, okay. And then after completing that, send a thank you, that is follow up, okay, to the people who have interviewed you, to the company or industry, whatever it is. So, get the correct names and titles and send a thank you, okay. And when you are appearing for an interview, bring all the appropriate materials, that is your resume, your transcript, that is a portfolio, a collection of your documents. And if there is any success story, share it with the people, they will be impressed, okay. Find out when a decision is expected to be made. If you are asked to make a decision, make it. Okay. So, when you are shaking hands with that person, give a firm handshake, that shows your confidence. And always maintain eye contact with the interviewer. So, that is very, very important. If you see somewhere, if you just droop your head down, it shows the lack of confidence. Okay. And before appearing for an interview, prepare some insightful questions which you need. Okay. And always be positive. Think that you will succeed in that and be very enthusiastic. And always listen carefully. Whatever the interviewer is speaking, don't interrupt them, just listen to them carefully. After they complete their speech or question, after that you start your answer, giving your answer. Okay. Market yourself, say about yourself, what are your skills, what are your abilities, what are your achievements. When you when you market yourself, you will be getting a good job. So, before answering, think twice what type of answer you are going to give. Okay. And if you want to give some examples, give some concrete examples to support your points if necessary. And always be assertive, not aggressive. This is very, very important. So, we think that when we speak loud, when we speak strongly, we will be showing that we are very much confident. Sometimes it may be aggressive. So, be very careful in that. Be assertive, but not be aggressive. And what are the don'ts? Always be punctual, don't be late. So, that will create a bad impression on you. Okay. And don't ask about other applicants. Don't get any information about the other applicants. Okay. And don't request for salary information. Don't smoke, don't chew anything. Okay. Don't slouch, don't droop your head down. It shows that there is a lack of confidence. Don't ramble, don't talk without any direction. Make your point and stop talking. Don't have a lengthy speech. Shorten your speech. And always don't criticize your previous employers or previous professors, whoever it is. Okay. Don't dress inappropriately. You must dress to fit in. Okay. And then always don't dominate the conversation. So, let the interviewer speak, let him complete, then you go on. And give the interviewer their physical space. And don't make excuses. Instead of making excuses, give some reasons. Okay. And don't tell the interviewer about your personal information. That is not needed. It is unnecessary. So, don't give your personal information to them. Don't flatter the interviewer. And don't try to be what you are not. Express yourself. Don't show that you are very high or very low. Just express what you are. And very importantly, don't interrupt amidst the talk of the interviewers. Let them complete their speech or question. Okay. And don't guess anything, don't make any assumptions, and don't apologize for anything that shows your lack of confidence. Okay. Don't ask any inappropriate questions which is not needed. Okay. And be assertive, not aggressive, and don't rely on other people, just rely on yourself. You use your own brain and mind and have some decisions. Okay. So, choose a job you love and you will never have to work a day in your life. These are the words of Confucius. And with the words of Catherine Whitehorn, find out what you like doing best and get someone to pay you for doing it. I will wind up this session. All the best. Thank you.